My name is Ashley Allen. I teach at Morehouse Magnet School in the Morehouse Parish School District. I teach physical science, biology 1, chemistry, and the introduction to biomedical science. I am most passionate about student engagement. The students that you will see in today's video are all 10th grade sophomores. The question for today is, how does a tree get the water and nutrients to the leaves at the top of the tree? This lesson is from the ecosystem unit, trees, developed at the University of Colorado by the Inquiry Hub team. Inquiry Hub lessons are Tier 1 curriculum lessons. The objectives for today's lesson are to obtain scientific information to develop a system model for how water and glucose travel throughout the tree in order for photosynthesis to occur. Also, another objective is that students will create an explanation of a phenomenon to answer the question, how do the internal structures of the tree function together to help a tree perform photosynthesis? Prior to this lesson, students have learned about a tree and how the tree takes in water from the roots and how the water is needed in order for photosynthesis to occur. This lesson connects to the overall goal as students work with a system model to actually demonstrate how water and glucose travel throughout the tree. Students also are able to give an explanation of how the internal structures of the tree function together to help it perform photosynthesis. All of the students that you see in the video are true 10th grade honors students. Virtual learners are actually doing the same activity using straws or coffee stirrers. The learners are critical thinkers and all questions are important to them. Most of the time, the learners figure out the answer to the questions by analyzing data, but some days they just have lots of questions. Today, class, we're going to look at how does a tree get the water it needs for photosynthesis? Does anybody have an answer to the question at this point? Jonathan?
The tree gets water through the roots, and the roots bring it to the stem, and it goes up through the trees.
Okay. All right. All right, Alexis?
Doesn't that defy gravity?
All right. Defy gravity. Well, I'm glad you asked. I'm glad you said that. We're going to look at that today. And on the board, I have a tree and a flower. Excuse my drawing here, but so the rain comes down and the water gets into the soil, it's absorbed into the roots, and it travels up the tree into the stem, into the branches and the leaves. Jonathan?
Sometimes it don't have to rain for the roots to be able to get water, because sometimes there's areas underground where there's water the roots get it from.
Okay, very good. So we don't necessarily have to have just precipitation that falls on the ground and makes the soil right here wet, because these roots go way deep, you're saying?
Yes,
and they can tap into where they need to go to get that water.
Especially with trees.
Especially with trees. Okay, good deal, good deal. Alexis made a point that how can something go up? Gravity says that things fall. This is actually, what we're going to look at is actually capillary action. Does anybody have a definition of capillary action? Okay, Lanasia.
Capillary action is the process of a liquid flowing into a narrow space through the force of gravity.
Okay, it's the force of a liquid going into a narrow space, and it's forced in there to move. All right? Do we have any places in our body that have capillary action? Lily?
Our tear ducts.
Our tear ducts, okay, because that's water. Anywhere else in our body? Any other examples in our body of where water flows or movement?
Our throat.
Okay, our throat, very good. What else flows through our body?
Blood.
Blood. It's a fluid there. All right. At your desk, you have a cup of water, two different types of droppers. One a pipette, the other a dropper. And what I would like for you to do is to take your pipette. Now let's do the dropper first. Take your dropper, okay? Squeeze the black bulb in the water. And what do you notice?
The water gets sucked up through the dropper.
Okay. How? How? It goes up. This is not, gravity says no, things go down. How does it go up?
Because of tubular pressure.
Okay, because it's got the turgor pressure. Okay, it's like the turgor pressure of a plant. Okay, the tube provides a pressure and pulls it up. So that's like the turgor pressure we see in the plant. And we know that plants don't have a backbone. That's how they stand up. They stand up straight because of all the pressure that they have. All right. So now that you have a drop in your dropper, we're going to drop water on the penny. Before we do, can I get a volunteer, or I want everybody make a prediction. How many drops will fit on the penny?
I think
Ariana,
20.
20,
Maybe 27.
27,
28.
28. Alexis,
17.
17. John,
Sure about to say 17.
17 might be it. All right, we'll take your dropper, fill it with water, and begin dropping. Carefully make your drops. Keep your chest.
17.
Jonathan, what?
I'm so serious. Mine was actually 17.
It was actually
I got like
17.
one drop in here. But I'm scared if I put it on there, it's going to fall off. Should I go for it?
Yeah, go for it. Go for it. Oh.
It's on the side. 18. Alright, gotta get some more water.
Okay, you're close. You're teetering on the edge. Ah! I think
20. 20
Oh,
was the breaker.
great.
I got mine 27. And that's what I guess.
You made your prediction.
As well. I got mine to 32.
32. What was your prediction?
Mine was 28.
28. You were
I
close.
got 36 and my prediction was 17.
All right, good
It
job.
really depends on like how big the drops of water are. How many you're gonna be able to put on the penny.
All right. Okay, Jonathan, hold that thought for a second. How many did you have, Jocelyn?
39.
39. Awesome. Awesome.
That's
So-
what I have.
All right. So we did it with the dropper. Take the pipette. Clean your penny off. Dry your penny off. All right. Squeeze the bulb in the water. Fill your pipette with water. Do you think you're going to get the same amount on the penny now?
I feel like we're
maybe
gonna get more.
More? Jonathan, what'd you say?
I was gonna say more because this is like a smaller tip than this one.
Okay. All right. More? We got two mores.
More.
More? More? We're getting agreements for more? Okay. All right. Begin dropping. That's right. You actually got less, didn't you? Wow, amazing.
I made it more. I made it to 27.
27. Is that more?
Yeah.
Great.
I got to 41.
41. That's more, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Than you have with your dropper. Okay. 26. Okay. Good.
It seems like the average is in the 20s.
Average in the 20s. Very good. 57.
I think I spoke
You're
a
gonna
little too
turn our
soon.
average a little upside down there, but that's okay.
She's like, she gotta be like looking
Still have one more drop. What was your
35.
total?
35.
35. Okay, good. 35. All right. So we have actually seen how the dropper and the pipette will actually pull the water up. Okay, there's a pressure that pulls it up. So there's basically pressure that pushes the water up to the leaves. What goes up? What's happening? Why is it important that water gets up to the top of the tree?
To make the plants stay healthy looking.
Okay, and what is that, Lily? What is it what happens in the leaves?
Photosynthesis.
Jonathan, say it louder.
Photosynthesis.
Photosynthesis, okay? So water is required for photosynthesis, carbon dioxide, sunlight. What is made in photosynthesis?
Glucose.
Glucose, and glucose is a what?
Sugar.
It's a sugar, okay? So we see these things and this pushes it up. So we have a capillary action that moves the water to the parts of the plant that it needs to get to. All right? Any questions? Yes.
I just thought about it, and if you
The lesson objectives were met. Students mastered demonstrating an understanding of xylem and phloem and the role that they play in the process of photosynthesis. When teaching this lesson in the future, students will be given more opportunities to examine the internal structures of a tree. For the rest of this lesson, students go on, they continue the consensus building discussion, they examine a Tilia slide with a microscope, they sketch their observations, they compare their sketches with a classmate, and then we have another consensus building discussion to sum up what we figured out and what we want to include in the scientific explanation of this process, and then we record all the data. In the next lesson, students are going to plan and conduct an investigation to produce data to serve as the basis of evidence for supporting the explanation of where in the tree the carbon atoms are stored from the carbon dioxide that the tree takes in. Students are also going to use a model of the chemical structure of carbohydrate to predict where additional atoms to make more of these substances come from as the tree grows. The question students will be investigating is, do other parts of a plant need glucose, and how does the plant use it?